Hi folks, it's Dasher Dave here again. I'm whispering, well I'm not whispering, I'm quieter than normal. The reason for that is it's late at night. It's 5 to 12 in the evening. But I just wanted to come back and just show you what I did. So these were the, this is me having embossed it. Okay, so I've just ran it through an embossing folder, and I've just then popped it on the radiator and left it to dry. This side, if you could feel this side, it's delicious. It's so soft and smooth. But see how pliable that is now. It's not the big, you know, the thick card that we had before, which was this stuff here. So it's gone from being this to being this. So excuse me. So this is how it's turned out. So I did this one, this is the other one that I did that went through the embossing folder I showed you on camera, and that's going to make a little notebook journal like that. And that's the inside, so I'll probably cover the inside of that one. Okay. This is the piece of paper. So this is how the paper turned out. So that's the inside and that's the outside, and this is like really nicely ridged. You can see where the radiator has been. I've got quite solid radiators, and you can see there's a square bit there where it's been sat over the radiator. So unfortunately heat drying does cause this, and that's why I would recommend that you don't heat gun dry it, because that's how it'll go. Same with this one. This has got a slight mark down here where it's been on the radiator, but this one again, this one was embossed, and I can probably see it on that side better. That was embossed with an alphabet embossing folder. So that's how they've turned out. Now when you've run them through the embossing, but I'll come to finishing it off shortly, but when you've run them through the embossing, through an embossing folder, and you've left them to dry, now's the time when you can really start to pick up that detail. Okay, so on this one it's quite dark, so I'll probably use, espresso is quite strong colour. Espresso, yeah, of course it would be espresso. Whereas walnut stain, that this one is, isn't as strong. Now they always go on darker than they do when they're finished, when they've dried. So I'm just going to rub this over this one. If you can hear any noise in the background, it's my dog. He's whining now. I think he's like saying, "Dad, it's bedtime. I want to go to bed. You're keeping the lights on." Bless him. You know what crafters' dogs are like. They're kind of like, they have to suffer with us being awake at silly times of the night. So yes, there you go. So I've just rubbed that over there, and that I'll leave that one to dry now. And then with this one, that's going to be too harsh. I might go over it again with a bit more vintage photo on this one, just to kind of pick up some of this detail. Just checking that I'm using the right side. Nothing worse than like you do something and then like you go, oh, hang on, no, that wasn't the side I wanted to use. So just going over it and just trying to pick out that detail. You know, you want it to look like old leather, so it's never going to be perfect. Don't look for perfection. I really don't believe in perfection anyway, so you know, what is perfect? There's nothing that's perfect. There's only perfect in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? So you are the worst judge of your own materials, so you're not allowed to say anything. I'm talking to you. You hear me. You know who you are. Yes, you. So don't judge your own materials, all right? So I've just done that, and I think I might just want to pick it up with, it's looking for the little one. What's there? The little one. It's the little one. Oh dear, he started on the accents again. Stop him. Somebody stop him. So just going over with this, just to pick up some more of that detail. Remember, don't look for perfection. Look for what's right for you, and remember, you're not the best judge. So I'm just trying to get that detail to be highlighted from that embossing folder. Now that's better. That's more like I was expecting. That's excellent now. Really chuffed with how that's turned out, actually. So it's always a bit hit and miss, you know, sometimes they don't go right. Don't let that put you off though. I mean, you know, if you're doing faux leather, you've got to remember that it's going to be a bit hit and miss. Sometimes it goes right, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, don't let your first time put you off, because that might be the time it didn't go right. So I'm just going to leave those. This one has got some embossing on it, and I'd like to see if I can pick that up with something, but I'm not quite sure what. Let's give it a go with some tea dye. This one's not as flat, which is always a bit harder for you to be able to pick up the details with one that's not flat. And it hasn't gone all the way to the edge, just so you're aware. And the reason for that is I'm going to cut some of this off because I wanted to make this into a particular journal size. I have somebody in mind for this particular one, so hence the letters might look a bit random, but the letters will mean something to the person it's going to. So, well, hopefully it will. You know, otherwise they might think, what they're giving me this for. So I won't say who it is, because, you know, if they're watching it, then it's not going to be a surprise, is it? So now there's loads of you out there thinking, oh, please don't give it to me. And hopefully some of you are thinking, please give it to me. But there'll be plenty of you saying, please don't give it to me. So anyway, I'm being a bit rougher with this one because it's a bit more undulated, bit of undulation. So, yeah, I've got that right. Okay, I might just, you know what I'm going to do, don't you? I'm going to use a bit of this just to get some more of the detail off. Oh, look at that. Remember, it'll dry differently, so don't expect it to be as strong when it's dried. It'll die down a bit when it's dry. So I like that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll leave it to dry. Don't try and handle it too much. Oh, by the way, people will think you've been fake tanning, I will just say, when you've been doing this. I would suggest if you want to wear gloves, wear them at the very start. I did think, should have worn gloves. It's too late now. I've got a meeting tomorrow as well, so that'll be interesting. So, no, like this is a in-person meeting. I was thinking it might be one of the Zoom call meetings, but it's not. Or a Teams meeting, or other platforms are available. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just leave that to dry. And then that's it. What I'll do is I'll come back when these are all dry, and that's probably going to be tomorrow now, unless I'm awake all night, which hopefully I'm not going to be. And I will pick this up from there, so you won't notice any difference, but I'm off to bed.